They smirked when I walked in by myself. Not loud enough to draw attention, just enough for me to catch it. Couldn't even get a date, she murmured to him, lips curled in that familiar, condescending smirk she used to reserve for people she considered beneath her. I didn't react. Didn't glance their way. I let the mockery linger like the scent of a cheap cologne, sharp, unnecessary, fleeting. I gave them that moment. Let them believe I was the one who lost. There was a time I was completely consumed by her. The kind of devotion that blinds you to every warning sign, makes you repaint glaring red flags in softer shades. We met back in college. She was wildfire, and I, dry brush ready to ignite. She once told me I made her feel secure. I mistook that for love. To the outside world, our life looked enviable. Smiling faces in framed photographs, passport stamps from vacations, holiday cards signed with affection and warm wishes. But the truth lived in silence behind closed doors, where tension grew louder and cracks widened daily. And then came Marcus, now her husband. Back then, he was just a colleague. Too many overtime meetings. Too many girls' nights, where her phone always seemed to die around midnight. I remember the night I knew it wasn't just suspicion anymore. I caught the faint scent of her perfume on the collar of my best friend's shirt. He tried to deny it. She didn't bother. I'm sorry, she said, as casually as someone returning something that didn't fit. It just happened. But things like that don't just happen. You don't accidentally fall into someone else's bed. She walked away with the house, drained half my savings, even took the dog. But what she really stole was the part of me that believed in trust without question. After the divorce, I faded from their view, not in some theatrical spiral, but quietly. I just stopped showing up. Let them think I was broken, that I was aimless. That was their first mistake. I wasn't lost. I was preparing. I started with Marcus. The media painted him as a rising star in real estate. Self-made, they said. A visionary, they called him. But I followed the loose threads. A maze of shell corporations, untraceable payouts, and a strangely timed city contract awarded just after a councilman returned from a luxurious trip to Monaco. I wasn't searching for just any scandal. I was searching for the right one. And eventually I found it, hidden in a luxury condo project tied to bribes, phantom investors, and a so-called non-profit that was anything but. I brought in someone I trusted, an ex-cybercrime investigator who owed me a favor. We documented everything. Every fact, every link, tucked neatly into a private file I named Patience. It still wasn't about revenge. Not quite yet. Not until she posted that photo. Their engagement party. Scheduled for the exact day of what used to be our anniversary. She wore the necklace I once gave her in Prague. The caption read, "Sometimes things fall apart so better things can fall together." That was the moment pain transformed into purpose. I picked up the phone, typed out messages, and reached out to old contacts who now occupied influential positions. Because they forgot something crucial. I wasn't just the heartbroken ex-husband they left behind. I built empires from the ground up, brokered deals worth more than their combined lifetime earnings. I hadn't vanished. I'd simply gone silent. And in that quiet, I found her. Clara wasn't just intelligent. She was lethal in the most refined way. A venture capitalist with razor-sharp instincts and a smile that could quiet a room. She had already made billions in tech before she turned 35. I confided in her, not just the betrayal, but the entire strategy. She didn't blink. "Let's give them something they won't stop talking about," she said, with a calm smile. And that brought us to this night. A grand gala, thrown in Marcus' honor to celebrate his supposed generosity. The city's elite were all present. I arrived alone. Let them chuckle. Then the entrance doors parted, and there was Clara. She didn't rush, didn't try to steal attention. Her timing was flawless. She glided in wearing silver, every edge of her presence honed like a blade. She moved with purpose, past hushed voices, startled stares, and my ex-wife's expression frozen mid-smile. Clara walked straight to me, took my hand without hesitation. "Sorry I'm late, darling," she said, her voice smooth with an undertone of steel. I kissed her cheek. The room went still. The silence was thick, charged, exquisite. My ex blinked as if she were staring at a ghost clad in diamonds. Marcus stiffened beside her, trying hard to act like he didn't recognize one of the most influential investors on the planet. I let the silence hang for a moment before approaching them. "Clara," I said casually, "remember Marcus? He's the one we were talking about last week. The condo fund situation." Her gaze never left my ex-wife. "Oh, that Marcus," she said, a slight curve tugging at the corner of her mouth. "The one under federal investigation?" Marcus's face went pale. "What?" I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, you didn't know? Someone tipped off the authorities about your little charity stunt. IRS is sniffing around too. Amazing what comes to light when the right people start paying attention." My ex tried to speak, but nothing came out. Her mouth quivered. Her eyes darted in panic, words caught somewhere between denial and dread. I leaned in, calm as ever. "Enjoy the evening. It'll be the last event you host for quite some time." We left before the chaos fully unfolded. But the fallout came quickly. Frozen accounts, formal probes, and donors pulling their support. I didn't twist the knife. I simply made sure it was in their hands when the truth dropped. Now, a week later, I sit beside Clara as she speaks on the phone, finalizing the purchase of one of Marcus's failing assets. A poetic twist, really. I no longer feel anger. Anger is loud. It burns fast and fades quicker. What I've embraced is quiet. And in that quiet, there's strength. I don't need to raise my voice to make an impact. My silence speaks in the wreckage of their arrogance. This wasn't about vengeance with noise and spectacle. It was a whisper dressed in elegance and steel. And it didn't end in chaos, but in stillness, with her paralyzed by the realization of what she lost, and me walking away, fingers laced with the very things she thought she stripped from me. Control, pride, and a woman truly worth standing beside.